The late Cretaceous plains stretch beneath a golden sunset. Herds of Triceratops graze among cycads, while flocks of small feathered dinosaurs scatter through the brush. The ground trembles with the rhythm of life, but amid the calm, a sharp crack breaks the silence, like a battering ram colliding with stone. Two creatures face each other, heads lowered, domes gleaming in the light. They charge, and the sound echoes for miles. This is Pachycephalosaurus wyomingensis, the dome-headed dinosaur, nature's original headbutter. The name Pachycephalosaurus means thick-headed lizard, from the Greek pachys, thick, kephal, head, and sauros, lizard. It was first described in 1943 by American paleontologist Charles W. Gilmore, based on fossils found in Montana and Wyoming. The species lived around 70 to 66 million years ago, during the final chapter of the Cretaceous period, right before the Great Extinction. At first glance, Pachycephalosaurus might have looked odd, a two-legged dinosaur with a short snout, small arms, and an enormous rounded skull nearly 25 centimeters 10 inches thick. That dome of bone was its signature weapon, a biological battering ram used for defense, dominance, and perhaps even communication. This dinosaur reached up to 4.5 meters 15 feet in length and weighed around 450 kilograms, 1,000 pounds, roughly the size of a modern horse. Despite its bulky head, Pachycephalosaurus was agile, with long, muscular legs that made it a surprisingly quick runner. Its tail was stiff and used for balance during sudden turns or impacts. For decades, paleontologists debated the purpose of its massive skull. Early theories suggested it used its dome to fight predators, but the structure's thickness and shape hinted at something different. The most widely accepted view today is that Pachycephalosaurus used its head for intraspecies combat, head-to-head clashes between males, similar to modern rams or giraffes. Fossil evidence supports this idea. Microscopic bone fractures and healed injuries have been found on many Pachycephalosaurus skulls, showing repeated impacts over time. These headbutting contests likely decided dominance, mating rights, or leadership within the herd. Battles fought not for survival but for pride. Its eyes face forward, giving it binocular vision, perfect for judging distances before a collision. The thick skull wasn't solid. It was honeycombed with air spaces, acting as a shock absorber to protect the brain. Beneath the dome, layers of fibrous tissue and cartilage likely added further cushioning. Evolution had turned this dinosaur's head into one of nature's most effective natural helmets. Life for Pachycephalosaurus was not constant battle, it was rhythm and ritual. These dinosaurs lived in herds or family groups, grazing across the warm plains of late Cretaceous North America. Their skull clashes were likely part of complex social behaviors rather than pure aggression. Much like bighorn sheep today, the males probably used their domes to establish rank and hierarchy within the group, while females and juveniles watched or took part in smaller, less intense contests. When not competing, Pachycephalosaurus spent most of its time foraging. Its small, leaf-shaped teeth and strong jaws suggest it was an omnivore, eating soft vegetation like ferns, seeds, and fruit, but also insects and small animals when available. Its keen eyesight and sense of smell made it an efficient browser, capable of spotting both food and threats from a distance. Despite its reputation as a headbutter, Pachycephalosaurus was likely a peaceful animal most of the time. The rounded dome may have also served a display function to attract mates or intimidate rivals without fighting. Some scientists believe the domes were brightly colored, perhaps striped or spotted, allowing individuals to recognize each other or show maturity and fitness through visual cues. Its temperament balanced calmness with bursts of intensity. During the mating season, males likely engaged in ritualized combat, lowering their heads, pacing back and forth, and finally charging with controlled precision. The collisions, while loud and powerful, were carefully angled to avoid fatal injury. Their reinforced skulls, neck muscles, and spines worked together to absorb and distribute the impact energy safely. Young Pachycephalosaurs may not have had full domes at birth. Juvenile fossils show flatter skulls that thickened and rounded as they aged, a sign of social and sexual maturity. These differences once led scientists to misidentify juveniles as separate species, such as Dracorex or Stygimoloch, but most now agree they represent growth stages of the same animal. The landscape they inhabited was lush and dynamic, a mosaic of forests, rivers, and open grasslands. Herds of Triceratops and Ankylosaurus shared the plains, while predators like Tyrannosaurus rex ruled the shadows. Though Pachycephalosaurus lacked natural weapons like horns or armor, its height and alertness gave it an advantage. It could spot danger quickly and flee using its long, powerful legs. And if cornered, it could lower its head and charge, one brutal, unexpected strike strong enough to break bones or knock down a smaller predator. In its world, survival meant not only strength but resilience and control, traits that made Pachycephalosaurus one of the most fascinating dinosaurs of its time. The fossils of Pachycephalosaurus tell a story that blends mystery, strength, and transformation. The first remains were discovered in 1859 in Montana, but it wasn't until the 1940s that the species was officially named Pachycephalosaurus wyomingensis. Over the decades, more skulls and fragments were found across North America, particularly in the Hell Creek Formation, the same region that preserved Triceratops and Tyrannosaurus rex. For years, paleontologists puzzled over the strange dome-shaped skull. Some early scientists even thought it belonged to the hips of a dinosaur rather than its head. Others believed it used the dome to ram predators or even trees to knock down fruit. It wasn't until modern analysis of bone microstructure that the true purpose became clear. The thickened dome showed signs of healed trauma, evidence of repeated head-to-head impacts, the echoes of ancient battles fought for dominance and mating rights. Despite its intimidating appearance, Pachycephalosaurus was not built for violence, but for ritual and resilience. Its headbutts were rarely fatal. They were displays of endurance and courage, a language of impact, a conversation through strength. In this way, it was more than a fighter. It was a communicator, using the architecture of its skull to connect, compete, and coexist. It thrived during the final age of dinosaurs, just before the catastrophic extinction 66 million years ago. When the asteroid struck the Earth, clouds of dust and fire swept across the planet, extinguishing giants of every kind, and with them, the last Pachycephalosaurs vanished. Yet their fossils remain as silent witnesses to an age when the ground thundered not just from footsteps, but from the force of skull meeting skull. Today, Pachycephalosaurus stands as a symbol of controlled power, a reminder that strength doesn't always destroy. Sometimes it simply endures. The thick dome of its skull wasn't just armor, it was identity, personality, and purpose. So imagine the final Cretaceous dusk. The air hums with the chorus of cicadas and distant predators. Two Pachycephalosaurs face each other beneath the orange light, muscles tense, eyes locked. They charge, the sound of impact splitting the silence. When the dust settles, they both stand tall, unbroken, proud. The contest is over. The ritual of life continues. That was the spirit of Pachycephalosaurus, unyielding, majestic, and eternal. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, comment what you like the most, and share it with someone who needs to hear this too.